Okay, so once I've added these guests, I can do a couple of things. I can click on the guest and I can see their guest contact information. I can see the event guest information. I can see some actions. I can see whether she's a lead or whatnot or interested in the opportunity. I can close that, but I can also go to order. So I'm going to start Pennywise's order. Let's say I'm in the shopping room with Pennywise. She would like to come in and place an order. I'm going to click on this and it's going to take me to her order. Okay. Once I clicked on that, I'm in the guest order screen for Pennywise. She's assigned a guest number. I can see her email address, her phone. I can click right here if she's interested in becoming a consultant. She says that, or she's interested in hosting a party. I can click that. I can put in the date. The date is really irrelevant. These will both populate leads in your personal lead sheet when you add them. Next is I can put in Pennywise's order. So I can either do that in the catalog view right here, like selecting AMP, especially if I was in the ordering room with her and she had questions about what are the features, what are the ingredients, the directions. It's all here for you. I'm not going to go through that right now, but I am going to add AMP to her order. It is going to give you a warning that no payments have been entered once you add a product, and that's okay, right? Because we're going to do the payments at the end. It's just making sure that you know that you haven't entered any payments. Just like in the consultant ordering, we also have the category here. So you can go in, you can do a drop down for bath and shower, and you can see all the bath and shower products and add those. So I'll add one Coochie Amore and add to order. And then the last piece is you can product search too. So I can go in here and I can just search for double feature, right? And I can put that in as a product. So once I've added all those, I can see, oh, I'm going to get rid of this. This doesn't have pricing, but it will in the new system. So double feature and AMP are here. You can see those two items that I'm going to order. Now, this is important to understand. Back order quantity. The new My Parties does not have the concept of inventory management. So one thing that you can do here is you can, even though we don't have your inventory recorded here, you can say, okay, this customer ordered double feature, but I didn't have any. So she ordered one and I didn't give her one. So one's on back order. So it will track that. The other thing you can do is you can click in here and you can do set a new price or a discount price. So for example, if I want to do $10 off, I leave it on the dollars, or if I want to do 10% off, I can change it to percent, or I can just reset the price altogether. But here I want to give a discount 10%. Okay, I hit OK, and that's going to kick the discount out here of 10%, 119, 10% of that is 1190. Now my subtotal is 107. For the amp, I can do the same thing. Say I'm just going to give her the price of $22 on this item. Uh, it's essentially the same thing. I'm giving a discount of $2, so I can see that her total now is $129.10. As I go down further, we can see that the shipping address for this order is going to be Mommy Shark's address because I'm going to be giving this to her at the party. If I'm not going to be giving it to her at the party, if say this is a total order that I'm going to ship to her house, I can click new and put the address in for her. Also, shipping method. This is going to default to $7. It will change if we ever change the recommended shipping amount, or you can enter your own shipping cost. Maybe you want to enter 0, or you want to enter $8, or you want to enter 3. You can do that here. Next is billing information. So how am I going to apply a payment to the party? I can either do cash, check, or credit. These are just like in Pure Sale. It's just recording an actual payment, right? So I can put notes in here like, what kind of check she wrote me. I can do partial payments. So I could say she wrote me a check for $100. I can add that payment. And then I can also say, that she also wanted to pay the rest of the balance with a credit card, the 4660. I could put a comment in here about like it was a Visa card, and I can then go over to my payment processing platform and process that payment. But this is recording that that payment took place. So I've put in the check that she gave me, the credit card that she gave me. I can remove either of those if I want to redo it. And then the product subtotal is here. The discount that I gave her, the shipping, the taxes calculated on the order, and her total. It also shows that she's making total payments. Now, this is very important. Once I hit complete order here, the order's over. I can't go back and make changes. I can leave this order open by going up to the back to the very top and just going back to party. So let's do that real quick. Now, this takes me back to the party summary page. And on the party summary page, I can see that now Pennywise, I have that order in. The second section here is how much they owe. Since I put in both of her payments and got this to zero, she doesn't owe me anything. I can also click here to send her an email if I want to. Once I put this in here and I feel good about it, I have the order created. I'm gonna go back to the order. She's walking out of the shopping room, so I'm gonna close this order out. Um, a good note here, you always have to scroll through all of the shop all unless you change it, or you can just click at the product search and it's an easy scroll. There's not much there, right? Um, let's say I am good with this. She paid me with check and credit card. She definitely wants these two items. I'm going to complete her order, and I hit complete order. It gives you a little message that you had order success, you submitted it properly, and it drops you back into the summary.